Alright, welcome, and in today's video you're going to be learning a fundamental movement lesson. So this is going to be a building block you're going to use for the primal movements you learn inside the academy. It's going to go into essential exercises like push-ups, pull-ups, squats, and it's going to go into more advanced movements such as handstands, headstands, V-sits, things like this. It's pretty much going to go into everything you're going to be learning through us. Now, this is one of the things that's going to separate you from the typical fitness routine, from the bodybuilders, from the CrossFitters and things like that, because what we're going to focus on is building a base of movement patterns. So a base of structure with everything that we do, so that way you're going to avoid injuries, you're going to be more effective through your movements, you're going to be stronger with your body. So these are one of the things that we definitely want to have down. And so I'm going to share with you a simple shape that I want you to form with your body, and then I'm going to have you perform a few exercises to help build and solidify this shape. And then this is something that I just want you to think about whenever you're doing other exercises and things like that. So again, our mission is to help you move better, feel better, and look better, and this is going to be one of the key lessons for doing that. So first I'm going to show you how to perform the simple shape, and then we want to hold this as we go through the exercise I'm going to share with you in just a second. So how we're going to do is, first we want to have good posture. So that means with your feet, you want to find the balance point right about the middle of the foot. So we don't want to be too far on our toes leaning forward, and we don't want to be too far on the heels. So right in between, like that balance point right in between. And then what we're going to do is we're going to extend with our body. So we want to have a neutral spine. We want the natural curves present. And one easy way to do this is just think about, and I learned this from Caitlin Geyer, our ballet instructor, when we were doing stunts in Hollywood, and she would always say, you want to imagine you're touching something like a button above your head. So really reaching tall, standing tall. So think about elevating and touching the top of your head to the ceiling. And if you do this, this should naturally put you in a straight position. And then you want to look straight ahead. So making sure you're not, looking up or looking down, looking straight, reaching tall. And then with our shoulders, all we're going to do, we just don't want them hunched over. What we're going to do is we're just going to pull them back. So pull the shoulders back, think about back and down, and then we're going to relax. And so be in this position here. And now this is what we want to maintain, this neutral, feel this neutral extended position with our spine, like we're reaching tall. And that's what we want to maintain as we go into these simple movements. So again, this is just the building block, because this is something that if we screw this up and we don't have this good form and technique here, it's going to be a lot harder. It's going to be much worse when we get into more advanced movements, and that's going to cause problems. So it could lead to injuries. It's going to lead to inefficiencies with our movements, so energy leaks, and also it's going to make us weaker in our movements and things like that. So what I want you to do now that we have that position, is we're going to stand tall. And what I want you to do is I want you, if you have a mirror or something, that's even better, because you can really see your body posture and your lines here. But what I want you to do is we're going to do a simple hip hinge. We're not going to go that far, but what we want to focus on is not really how far we can go, but just maintaining this body shape as we go into it. So we don't want to curve over. So if you notice your shoulders and your back curving first before you start to initiate the hinge, that's a problem. That's going to lead to movement problems in the future. Or if you're arching like this as you lean forward, you're pushing the stomach forward, that's going to lead into issues too, compressing the spine, things like that. So what we want to do is relax, maintain this position, think about reaching tall the whole time, like we're reaching at the very top as we go forward. And maintain this position, pull the hips back, maintain that balance in between the feet, so not on the toes, not on the heels, lean forward, have the knees slightly relaxed, and what we want to do is maintain that position. Go just as far as you feel comfortable, and then we're going to come up. So what we also want to do is make sure our head doesn't tilt. This is an easy problem that will most likely happen, happens to me a lot sometimes, where when we go forward, we'll automatically bend the head forward to lean, to go forward. So what we want to do is maintain a straight position. Look with the eyes if you have to, don't look with your head. Keep the back straight, and then come back up. This can be kind of difficult at first without, keeping, a lot of times we'll also want to maintain our eye position, so we'll bend the head forward as we go forward. Don't do that. I want you to maintain the shape. Especially as we get into, if you get into acrobatics and things, when we start to do this, if we're flipping or doing spins and our head does this, it actually is going to throw off the rotation, it throws off the whole flip, and it causes a lot of energy leaks like I talked about before. So we want to maintain a straight position, go all the way down, come up. So after we have the hip hinge going forward, we're going to move to the shoulders, but still maintain that position, that straight posture. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our arms and we're going to pull them up as far as we can. We're going to have our thumbs facing us. Reach as far as we can. Now if we want, we can extend the shoulders out and go a little further and then come down. The big thing here is that we don't want to arch the back. A lot of times when we lift up here, we start to reach past our flexibility point, we'll move the back. We don't want to do that. This is going to, again, lead to problems with our movement later on. We want to go straight. First of all, this is going to help with really focusing on the flexibility that we're trying to build, which is with the shoulders here. And also when we get into handstands and things like that, or cartwheels, it's really important that we can maintain the structure here as we have the arms lifted above us, like so. Otherwise, if we're like this, we're compressing areas of our spine. It could lead to injuries. Also, it's much harder to balance. It's going to be inefficient. So we want to maintain this position and then come down. And do this nice and slow. If you can look in a mirror to see if you're moving any, you're having any weird movements. Now, next we're going to do a shoulder or a chest opening exercise. Now this is going to help with our posture and strengthening the back muscles, but it's also going to help us to maintain a proper shape when we do movements such as push-ups, pulling exercises, and that is maintaining a good position with our spine and our back. So what I want you to do is we're going to take our shoulders, we're going to push them forward. So push forward, extending, pushing through here, and then we're going to pull them back. And what we want to try to do is we don't want to curve. Sometimes a lot of us will tend to not only move the shoulders, but we'll move the spine and curve over, or move the head forward, and then arch as we come up and back. Now this can be a good flexibility routine to help loosen things up, but as far as for movement and building a movement pattern that we're going to use for other things, we want to maintain a straight position here. So what we're going to do is, again, take the shoulders, and you might be able to see the shoulder blades wrap around and then pull them back. And we want to maintain a good position with the back, that same straight position, really isolating the shoulder movement. Because again, if you want to make this a little bit harder, we can extend the arms, and so now this is replicating more of a pulling or a pushing movement, and we're going to push the shoulder blades, and then we're going to pull them back without moving the back or the head. This is going to give you a lot more control with this position, isolating, really engaging those muscles, and then come back. Okay, now that we have that one, we're going to add a twisting movement. So we're going to stand tall. Now I picked this one up from Kung Fu. We were blessed to have some really good teachers in our lives, and the first one was Sifu Kisu, who's most well known for his work on Avatar: The Last Airbender, the whole franchise. He was the choreographer, or the guy who created the martial arts for that, and most of you might know it for the bending arts, so the water bending, the fire bending, things like that. Again, we learned from him when we were training stunts and stuff in Hollywood. He would teach us in our backyard, and this is one of the warm-up exercises that he would use. Now, we also went to China and trained with Shaolin monks as well, but this one was unique for him, so I wanted to show you this one too. So we're standing tall, that same body position, and what we're going to do is we're going to twist. So we're going to keep the hips straight. We're going to twist the upper body. So we're twisting the upper body, and we're taking the arms and we're reaching forward. Now again, as we do this, as we twist and reach, we don't want to arch, we don't want to go forward, we want to maintain this good position, especially when we're turning, stacking everything. And pulling the hands up and down. Now, we're not too flexible here. If we're not flexible enough to really get there, just pull the hands lower if we need to. Nice and slow. Okay, so that's just a little bit of a twisting movement there. So as we get into spins, things like this is where that's going to come in play. Now, for the next one, this is going to be a little bit more challenging, but what we're going to do is we're going to take that hip hinge motion that we did before, but now we're going to make it a little more challenging. So if you need to hold on to something, that's fine. But what we're going to do is we're going to free one leg. So we're in this position. We're going to shift our weight slightly over to one leg. And what I want you to do is I want you to really feel the weight in that other foot, the one where we're holding the balance. So we're lifting one leg off the ground, basically. We're hovering one leg. It might be hard to see on the camera, but we're shifting weight to the right leg and lifting up. And what we're going to do is we're going to raise one leg, but again, we want to maintain this good posture. So we're going to slowly lift up. Just go as high as you can, and then back down with a straight leg. So we're shifting the weight, and we're coming up. Now what I want you to do on this one is I want you to go forward, and then I want you to tighten the glute and just pull back as much as you can. But I don't want you to lean forward. Stay straight at this moment, pulling the leg up. Tightening the glute, maintaining good posture here, and pulling back as far as we can. And then we'll switch legs and do the same thing. So we lift up just as far as we can go comfortably, maintaining good posture, and then we're going to come back. So again, this is going to go into more advanced movements. We want to be able to have control at this lower level before we start trying to go more advanced. Okay, now that we have front to back with each leg, we're going to go side to side. So again, we're shifting the weight over, shift the weight over. We're going to the left side, and we're going to lift the right leg up. What we want to do is we don't want to raise the hip up. If you find yourself raising your hip up and twisting the side, we don't want to do that. We want to maintain that good posture, keep the hip, try to keep them level, and then we're just going to lift the leg up just as high as we can comfortably. I don't know if you can see this or not, but let's see. And then we're going to do the same. We're shifting weight, and we're just going to the sides. We're lifting our leg up to the side without trying to shift the hips. Maintaining good posture, standing tall and straight. Okay, now that we have those, we kind of move the leg around. We could add some circle movements, but I just want to keep it basic for now. Now after we have that, this is where we're going to bump it up another level. So you know, where we were moving just the leg, now we're going to move the leg and move the upper body. So this is going to really help with developing that core strength and that coordination, especially with maintaining this good posture shape. So as we lean forward, we're going to lift the back leg. You want to imagine a straight line from the top of your head all the way to your leg. These stay together and move together as we go forward and back. And you can hold on to something you need to, and then lean slightly back a little bit, not too far, just to feel how that is, and then we're going to go back. Reaching tall, maintaining good shape, and just go as far as you feel comfortable. This is a simple hinge, but we're now doing it with one leg. We lean forward. Now I pulled up my leg a little too much on that one. And then we're going to switch legs. Now for this one, I'll go a little bit further. So we lift up, we shift our weight, maintain that good posture, reaching tall, and then we're going to imagine a line going from the top of the head to the leg as we reach forward. Now what we don't want to do, we don't want to curve, we don't want to arch, maintain that position, even if we can't go that far, and then come back up. Feel that balance, and then come back up. Okay, now that we've gone front to back, we're going to go side to side. So like we did in the last one, imagine a straight line going from your leg to the top of your head. And now we're going to lean from side to side. If you have to hold on to something, that's fine. But again, we want to maintain that back, straight back, neutral spine, reaching tall. So what you want to do is lean. You should be able to feel a straight line through here. And we shift weights, we're going to go the other way. The leg and the head and the spine are all connected. And now, one big thing is, I don't want you to lean your head forward like this. I don't want you to crunch here. We're going to maintain a straight position. So that's all I have for you. I just want you to really think about maintaining that straight neutral spine, because you'll want to be doing that through every movement. And if you focus on these simple exercises, it's going to help ingrain that position in your body for whenever you're going to these different shapes and things like that. So just train those little movements, focus on that technique, have fun with it, and if you want, add some more challenging variations that you can think of. So, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.